Yes, Constable Zungu, my lord, that's correct.
Yes.
Eqinisa ukuthi istatement sakho Constable Zungu ngasithola ngo-2023.
And would this have been for the first time that he detailed all the information that he knew about what could have happened, information that was within his own knowledge, what could have happened on the 26th of October 2014?
It is the first time he gave me the statement, my lord.
Thank you.
Kwakuwa okokuqala ke enginikeza istatement mayelana nokwenzeka nge-26 October 2014.
Now, when you prepared your memorandum and your submissions to the office of the DPP, you did not have Zungu's statement, not so?
No, I did not, my lord.
Uma sengibhalela ke abashushisi ke ngisho ke ngesinqumo sami mayelana nokuthi nokuphenya icala leli istatement sika Zungu ngangeke naso noma ngangenaso.
Thank you. Now, as part of your presentation to the office of the DPP, there's a statement that was read in court here on the 24th of January 2024. I think it's just a summary wherein you indicate the extent to which each of the accused persons that are before court here were involved, the evidence that is against them, and you went on to give your own analysis as to what your views were in respect of their involvement in the case, not so? I'm just not so sure what's the A number of that statement, but the statement that was read to record on 24/01/2024 when you were being cross-examined by Mr. Mngomezulu. I don't know if it's that one. I'm not so sure if you can recall that, Brigadier.
No, I don't, my lord. I think I'll have to be referred specifically to what statement are we talking about.
Ngitshele ukuthi isiphi le statement ekukhulunywa ngaso angisikhumbuli mina. Advocate uthi kune statement esafundwa la enkantolo nge-24 zika January 2024.
Brigadier, we have made so many statements, but I don't know whether it's A something or it's A what. As I'm saying, I'm getting this information from the record. My request that information might not be beamed there on the screen. As I'm saying, these are the proceedings of the 24th of January 2024. They are contained in page number 71. So I'm not in a position to say this is A178 or A198 or A1. I don't know. I'm not in a position to say that, but I'm in a position to say 24/01/24, page 71. Those are the proceedings. Thank you, Marara. I think Dr. Sibasa is busy working on bringing that information on the screen. This is the date, Marara. This is the date. 24/01/2024. Print. Oh, okay.
8225, my lord. So 8227, 8227. It's dated 20 November 2020.
Yes, I have 8227, my lord.
Thank you. I'm not so sure whether. Remember, you've made so many statements, and your statements are not similar in all respects. So there's a bit of a difference here and there. I'm not so sure if this is the one that was read on record, but I go with what the state says. Thank you, sir. Now, I think let's rather go with what is contained in the records. The record of proceedings.
Yes, I have the recordings, my lord, the proceedings.
Okay. Thank you. Now, on page 75, are you on page 75?
Yes, I am on page 75.
Thank you.
my lord.
On line number 2 of the proceedings, you state that the evidence explained here in under oath indicates that the planning of the offense and gathering after the incident took place at Vosloorus, investigation which resulted in evidence under oath revealed that the victim was murdered as a contractual assassination or a hit rather than the robbery gone wrong. Evidence under oath revealed that 5 suspects actively participated in the planning and the execution of the contractual murder of Senzo Meyiwa. Are you with me then?
That's correct, my lord.
Ngiyabona ke la ekubhalwe khona ukuthi ke ubufakazi buyasho ke obufungelwe ukuthi ke kwakunokuhlelwa kwesigameko lesi futhi lokho kwenzeka ehostel Vosloorus uphenyo futhi ke lona ke laselutshengisa ke olufungelwe ukuthi ke lowo owashona wabulawa noma ukuthi ke kwakuhleliwe ukubulawa kwakhe kungasikona ukuthi kwakubanjwa inkunzi futhi ke ubufakazi obufungelwe buyashoka ukuthi abasolwa abahlanu ibona ke abakuhlela lokhu ukubulawa kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
Now, Brigadier, the person, in the context of the evidence that is before court, the person who came told to this court that this whole allegations of the killing of Senzo Meyiwa by these 5 accused persons, including 1 and 3, it's something that actually was hashed at the hostel. It's Zungu, not so. It's Constable Zungu. He's the one who introduced the whole subject of the hostel being guys that went out and came back with the firearms and celebrations and stuff like that, not so.
Well, my lord, I suppose if the question is, or the statement is that is Zungu the only witness who came and testified in this court, the answer I suppose then it will be correct. But to say he's the only one, that's incorrect, because we have the statement of Kwabeni prior to Zungu prior to the memorandum being presented to the DPP, which talks to what happened at the hostel, what accused number one said before even the reporting of the deceased in this matter on the media. So it's twofolded. If the assertion is that in this court, the only witness that came to testify is Constable Zungu, I agree. But if the assertion is that he is the only one that talks to the planning, then that is incorrect, my lord.
Uma kuukuthi ke lokhu ummeli akushoyo ukuthi ke uZungu yena kuphela oweza kule nkantolo wakusho ukuthi ke basolwa ke laba abahlanu ke ekuyibona ke babe yingxenye yokubulawa kwakhe ke uSenzo, yebo ngizokuvuma. Uma kodwa ke ummeli ethi uyena kuphela owakhuluma owakusho ke lokho, cha angeke ngivumelana nako ke, noma ngoba uzokhumbula ukuthi noGwabeni ke wakusho ke lokho nangaphambilini kokuthi ke ngibhaleke noma ke ngisayine ke lokhu kubizwa ngokuthi phecelezi ke imemorandum ngihambise kubashushisi ukuthi kwakungasiyena yedwa noGwabeni naye wakusho ke lokho.
So your presentation to the DPP's office in relation to what happened at the hostel, the planning prior and thereafter, you are saying that in relation to what was contained in the statement of Gwabeni.
Yes, my lord, it's inclusive of Gwabeni. Gwabeni is not the only one who implicates accused 1 up to 5. You also have, and I'm saying from the top of my head now, and one can go to the docket because then I can be specific, but there is a statement of Simphiwe Buthelezi, for example, who implicates accused 3 and 4 in the matter of Senzo Meyiwa. And then you have the statement of Makosonke.
Sorry, Brigadier. My question is very specific. At the hostel on 26 October 2014.
Yes.
I'm not talking at random.
No, and my answer is not at random, my lord. It's
Yes.
specific. The implication of accused 3 and 4 by Simphiwe Buthelezi relates to the day of the incident, the 26th. And Makosonke relates to the events that took place on the 26th of October 2014. So that's why I'm saying from the top of my head, I can think of these 3 statements. There could be more as we're investigating, but that's what I heard when I presented the case to the DPP. Constable Zungu came later. What I heard insofar as Zungu is concerned, this is now Constable Zungu, was his father's statement. And I indicated earlier in my evidence, my lord, that it is when his name was coming up during this investigation, even in the statement of Zungu, Sifiso Zungu, Gwabeni, that Constable Zungu was present on the 26th. That when I followed that up, then it resulted in the statement that he gave to us now in 2023, my lord.
Lana ke ngasikona ke qinisa ukuthi kwakuGwabeni kuphela nje umuntu ke owakhuluma ke noma esho ukuthi abasola babe yingxenye ke manje mangacabanga njena ke uyena uSimphiwe Buthelezi owasho ke ekhuluma ngaye umsolo wesithathu kanye nowesine kwakuMakhosonke futhi naye ke esho ke noma ekhuluma lokho okwenzeka ke ngalelo langa. Manje ke uma sengiya ke eDPP noma ke kulabo abashoshisayo nganginalezi statement lezi ke esikazungu sona ke safika kamuva istatement usemuva kokuthi igama lakhe lalivela ke kulezi istatement.
Thank you, Brigadier. I think that's the aspect that I wanted to clear here. Thank you.
Understood, my lord.
Now let's go back to Flores at the parking lot. You said upon your arrival, you were introduced by Sergeant Mukhula to accused number 1, and accused number 1 was introduced to you by Sergeant Mukhula, not so?
That is correct, my lord. I said I was introduced and then I introduced myself. Yes, the introductions was done by Sergeant Mukhula initially, and then I then introduced myself in terms of the formalities and identifying myself, including in showing him my appointment card, my lord.
Kuyiqiniso ke ngishilo ukuthi ke kwi parking lot ke noma la kuma khona ke imoto eFosloras uSergeant Mukhula uyena ke wethula umsolo oqala kumina ngase mina ke ngizothula kuyena ke nokuthi futhi ngimtshengise icard lami.
Thank you. Now, when you introduce yourself, what did you say who you are?
My Lord, I did cover this, but just to remind of Advocate Minister, I did say I was the lead investigating officer in the, this matter that is before court. I told him my name, my rank, where I'm stationed, and I showed him my appointment card, my Lord. This identity card.
Ngakusho-ke lokho kodwa ke ngakuphinda-ke ukuthi mangizethula-ke ngasho-ke ukuthi mina ohola-ke ithimba eliphenyayo kuleli cala nokuthi-ke ngisebenza phi-ke noma ihhovisi lami likuphi-ke ngabe sengimbonisa-ke ikhadi lami lomsebenzi.
Is there anything else?
No, in the identification, my Lord, those were the formalities. That I'm a member of the South African Police, I was a colonel at the time, my appointment card, and that I'm the lead investigating officer in the matter before court. So in that instance, I would have referred to the case that involved the death of Senzo Mayo.
Yilokho-ke ngakusho-ke uma ngizethula-ke kuyena ngangisewukheneli-ke ngaleso sikhathi leso ngitshela-ke ukuthi mina ohola ithimba-ke eliphenyayo lelicala nokuthi-ke futhi-ke ngiphenya icala leli-ke leli eliphambi kwenkantolo-ke manje icala lokushona kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
Thank you. And did you tell him the reason why you had to go see him?
That is correct, my Lord. So it came after the second. So if one perhaps should put it in a sequence, in a proper sequence, so that it will flow correctly, at what stage did I tell him? So first I get introduced, then I introduce myself, then I ask the members who were there to excuse me so that I remain with him. Then I warned him according to his rights. First I warned him according to his rights. I asked the members to introduce me. When they left, my Lord, I warned him again according to his rights, but establishing the responses. For example, when I said the right to remain silent, what does he want to do? Then the response, and I've dealt with this during the trial, within the trial, my Lord. So after we've gone through...
Sorry, Brigadier, this is not an interjection.
Okay.
But you know what, when you say you have dealt with this in a trial within a trial, Mr. Ms. in a trial within a trial wasn't there for accused number one, so it does not know. Thank you.
I'm not sure, my Lord. Is the assertion that I must repeat all the evidence of the trial within trial now? Because I'm saying this.
No,
so that
nobody said
I
you
don't-
need to repeat that is that evidence of a trial within a trial. The question that I've asked you is, did you introduce, who did you say you are to him? Now you are trying to explain, and now you come and say we have said that in a trial within a trial. And I'm saying to you, Mr. Mnisi was not there for accused number one in a trial within a trial. It does not know what happened in that trial within a trial. The question is, when you introduce yourself to him, who did you say you are?
Aspect, my Lord, has already been covered. I think the previous question of counsel was that did you tell him why you had to see
Yes,
him?
exactly. I'm sorry. Thank you. Did you tell him? You see now, that is the thing, because you say a lot of things that have not been asked. You see, and I don't know if that is deliberately made, as it has just happened now. The last question that I asked you, did you tell him the reason why you had to go see him? Why were you there?
Yes, my Lord, I did.
Yebo ngamtshela isizathu sokuthi-ke ngiyombona ngalelo langa.
What is it that you told him you were there for?
That I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa, my Lord.
Ngamtshela ubonake ukuthi ngesizathu sokuthi ngikholweke ukuthi-ke waye ingxenye-ke noma-ke embandakanyeka-ke ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
Thank you. Now, at what stage was that?
But excuse me, my Lord. You see, this is exactly what I was trying to avoid, because now I'm being asked at what stage, and that is why I was putting the sequence. of
Brigadier,
events.
Brigadier, you don't have to avoid anything. Your duty is to answer questions that are coming from me. You are not there to try and avoid certain things. Your duty as there as a witness, you just have to respond to the question that I've asked. Now, the question that I'm asking you now is, at what stage did you tell him the reason for your visitation there. Yes.
My Lord, when I said to avoid, I'm saying the sequence of events was addressing the very same question that I'm being asked now. That is why I felt, because Advocate Munisi was not the one cross-examining me during the trial within trial, let me deal with the sequence of events that will take me to where he is. That was the purpose of where I was. But so the answer came, my Lord, when I said to him I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. It was after I warned him. And then he has indicated that he is willing to speak to me freely and voluntarily, and after I was satisfied that he was aware of his constitutional rights and that he was in his sober and clear senses. And then I put that question, my Lord, of my reasoning, the statement that I just made now.
Le statement engiqeda ukusenza ke manje noma ukusisho ke manje ukuthi ngaba ngamtshela ukuthi ngesizathu sokuthi ngikholweke ukuthi wayembandakanyeka ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa kusemuva kokuthi ngamxwayisa ke emuva kokuthi ke ngase emuva kokuthi futhi ngase ngithola ke ukuthi cha amalungelo akhe ngamtshela ke ngawo ukuthi uyaweza amalungelo akhe nesizathu sokuthi ngibe khona ke lapho nempendulo ke ayenikeza ngaso yilapho ke ngase ngisho ke nako ukuthi nginesizathu sokukholelwa ukuthi ke wayembandakanyeka ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, before we proceed, now, this conversation, where does it actually take place? Is it taking place when accused is seated in the red golf?
Yes, it is, my
Where-
Lord.
Yebo ke lokho kwenzeka ke umhlola ke nkathi ke ayehlezi ke yona igolf le eyayibomvu.
And where were you?
I was in the golf as well, my Lord.
Nami ke ngangikuyona igolf leyo.
And that is after you've requested these other members to excuse you.
That is correct, my Lord.
Lokho ke kwenzeka emuva kokuthi sengibacelile ke abanye zakwethu ukuthi ke ake basidedele.
Yeah, because accused number one had actually told this court, and that is what he also told me, that when you arrived there, actually when your team arrived there at the parking lot of the First Lawrence Police Station, they took him out of the golf and he was seated down. He was not in a motor vehicle even when you arrived. So this conversation that you're talking about happened when he was seated down on the parking. He was not in a motor vehicle.
No, that's not correct, my Lord.
Akusona ke iqiniso lokho ukuthi ke nkathi ke ngikhulumisana naye ke wayekhishiwe ke emotweni wayehlezi phansi. Akusona iqiniso lokho.
Thank you. Now, you said you were in the motor vehicle. Where was accused number one seated in the vehicle?
He was seated at the back, my Lord. I just don't remember whether it was the right rear or left rear, but it was the back seat of the motor vehicle.
La ayehlezi khona ke umsola ke kwangasemuva ke emotweni angisakhumbuli nje ukuthi ke kwakuyisandla sokunxele noma ke esokudla kodwa wayehlezi emuva emotweni.
And yourself?
I sat next to him on the back seat as well, my Lord.
Ngangihlezi eduze kwakhe ke noma ke eceleni kwakhe ke nami ngihlezi emuva.
Now, you said during the time of your your introduction to him, you showed him your appointment card. Why did you show him your appointment card?
That's how introduction is done, my Lord. You want someone, you identify yourself as a police officer. It's part of the introduction. You show the person the appointment card as a confirmation that indeed you are a police officer. So those are the formalities that you do every time, and that's how I've been taught. It was not an isolated incident with accused number one, my Lord.
Indlela ke ekwenziwa ngayo ke uma ngabe uzothula ke leyo ukuthi ke umuntu umtshengiseke ikhadi lakho kwangasona nje isigameko esazenzekela noma kuyena yedwa ke umsolo wokuqala indlela futhi ke ngafundiswa ngayo uma ngabe uyichaza noma uzothula ukuthi uyiphoyisa kufanele umuntu umkhombiseke noma umtshengiseke okuhambelana naloko okushoyo noma okuyisiqinisekiso saloko.
Now, Brigadier, you have showed him your appointment card. You, as part of your introduction to him, and then you're also telling him that I've got information. Actually, where you say this, did you say to him you've got reasons to believe or you've got information that he was involved in the killing of Senzomiyo?
No, my recollection, I would have said something to this extent. I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the killing of Senzomiyo, my lord.
Engakusho mina ke nangokukhumbula kwami ukuthi ngangesizathu sokuthi ngikholweke ukuthi ke wayembandakanyeka ekubulaweni kwakhe uSenzomiyo.
Thank you. Did you tell him that you received information from Sergeant Mohula that he says something akin to having a knowledge that he was also involved in the killing of Senzomiyo?
No, I didn't, my lord. The sequence of events were exactly as I'm articulating them. So once I've put this part, the response amounted to what I suppose Advocate Nisi will want to deal with. So we didn't get to the point of Sergeant Mohula. We didn't get to the point of what Sergeant Mohula informed me. The next answer to what I've put to him changed the direction of our discussion, my lord.
Angizange ngimtsheleke noma ngisho kuyena ke engakutshela mina ke uSergeant Mkhula ngoba ke impendulo elandelayo anginikeza yona ke iyona ke manje iyase ishintsha ke manje ukuthi ke siya ngakuluphi ke uhlangothi asizange sifike kulokho ayengitshele kona uSergeant Mkhula.
Thank you, Brigadier. Brigadier, why did you choose to conduct the interview with accused number one seated in the Red Golf and not invite him to your vehicle?
No, it wasn't necessary, my lord. So what happened is prior to me arranging that we must meet at Phosphorus Police Station, I was informed by the members that they are proceeding to Phosphorus on investigations relating to accused number one. Hence, I opted that they should then meet me outside Phosphorus Police Station for me to satisfy myself with the information or the assertion that Sergeant Mkhula was telling me that accused number one seems to be making some admissions in the case. So that was the first part that motivated me to meet him where they were en route on part of the investigation, my lord, because I did not know whether he will confirm what they're telling me or not. So there was no point for me to divert them, to take him out of the car, take him to my car. It would have been insignificant. My car was there. This was an official car, the Golf that he was in. My car was a private car. I think if I had to make that choice, I would prefer an official car than a private car, my lord.
Okokuqala ke nokuthi ke noma umbuzo uthi kwangani ke ungamthathanga umphipheke ayo kwimoto le owahamba ngayo. Okokuqala ngishilo ke ukuthi ke mina ke ngathola umbiko kubona ke oza kwethu ukuthi ke babe sendleleni eyakhona ke ePhosphorus behambela ke uphenyo mayelana naye ke umsolo wokuqala ngase ngithi ke asihlanganeni khona lapho ke manje le engangihamba ngayo imoto kwakuyiyami imoto manje ke isinqumo ngasithatha ukuthi asihlale kulena ke imoto ekuyiyona imoto yomsebenzi sasingeke isizathu sokuthi ke manje ngibashintshe ke mina la ababeya noma kuloko ababekhambe eyokuqala ke leyo ukuthi ke kwakungani ngikhulumele naye kwiGolf ebomvu.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, upon receipt of the information from Sergeant Mohula, subsequent to her interaction with accused number one, is it not so that you could have formulated a view that wherever I'm getting to, there is just but a slight, or there's a possibility that I will be receiving either admissions or confession from accused number one in relation to the offense that we are investigating?
Sorry, my lord, I think I don't understand. Is that now after Sergeant Mohula informed me, or after both being informed by Sergeant Mohula and after myself I interacted with accused number one? I'm not sure of the question.
That is the information that you received from Sergeant Mohula.
No, my lord. No, I couldn't form that part. I couldn't form that part, my lord, because like I said, I knew Sergeant Mohula, one, is not a commissioned officer, meaning she's not allowed by law to take confessions. That's the first part, my lord.
Mangiphendula ke umbuzo wakho kwakungekho ke okwakungitshela ukuthi lokho engitshela uyena ke uSergeant Mohula ukuthi ke waqala ke ukuthi ke umsola useyahlambuluka ke noma khona akuvumayo ngoba oqala ke ngiyazi ukuthi ke akekho ke ukuthi akasiyonaka lokho kubizwa ukuthi commissioned officer noma ke umthetho omvumeli ke ukuthi ke angathi ayithathe ke i-confession noma ke la umuntu agonyuluka khona.
So that, my lord, was simply a sparking point to create the interest for me to go and talk to accused number one in order to certify myself that he is aware of his constitutional rights, that he was in his sober and clear senses, and that he was indeed making such assertions, if there were such any, my lord. I didn't know what he will tell me when I was going to meet them, my lord.
Ilokho ke manje okwakuseke manje kungiphake umdlandla ke ukuthi ke ngiyeke kuyena ngiyozwa ke ukuthi lokho engikutshelwayo yokuyena uSergeant uMohula ngabe yinto azoyivuma yini noma ke azoyiphinda yini noma ke angeke ahambisane nayo ke futhi ke ngiqinisekiseke nokuthi ke amalungelo akhe ke ngokomthetho sisekelo uyawazi noma uyawezwa.
And that is why, lastly, to the answer to the question of Mr. my lord, that when I was satisfied that indeed he was making such assertion, there was change of direction where I requested now these members to move to Ereton, because then at that stage, after talking to accused number one and having satisfied myself that he was in his clear and sober senses, aware of his constitutional rights, and that he was willing to make a confession to an independent police office, I was now convinced that the confession must be taken. Hence the change of direction to say, let's move to Ereton while I'm trying to find an independent officer. So that part was formed after I engaged accused number one.
Manje ke ukuthi ke ngifinyelele kulokho noma ke ngithola ukuthi yini ke le angitshela yona noma ayishoyo ke kumina umsola nokuthi ke manje bese kuyashintsha ke manje kushintshwe ke uhlangothi ukuthi ngibaceleke manje amaphoyisa lawo noma zakwethu ukuthi manje abahambeke baye eEraton kusemuva kokuthi ke ngathola ke isiqiniseko sokuthi impela lokhu angitshela kona umsola yila avuma khona ke ukuthi ke yebo impela kukhona ke akwaziyo ukuthi ke bahambeke manje baye eEraton bese ukuthi mina ke ngithola umuntu okuyena umsola oqala azokhuluma kuyena.
That's my answer. That's my answer, my lord.
Yona ke impendulo yami leyo.
Yeah, no, it's an answer. But Brigadier, my question is simple. Upon receipt of the information from Sergeant Mohula about what accused number one said to Sergeant Mohula, did you or didn't you form an opinion or a viewpoint that wherever that I'm getting to, there's a possibility that I'm going to receive, or upon interviewing that suspect, I'm going to receive an admission about the occurrence of this offense and or a confession? That's just my simple question.
No, my lord, that's why I'm saying I didn't form that opinion. So Sergeant
Thank
Kohler
you.
did not tell me
Thank you.
word for word what was said. He simply said, accused one is making some form of admissions about his involvement in the murder of Senzo Mayo. That's it. Not the details word for word of what was said. And that conversation then led to the arrangement of us meeting in Phosphorus, my lord, police station.
Kwangeke ke ngifinyeleleke kwesinqumo noma ke ngifinyelela ukuthi ke ngisho ukuthi umsola woqala uyavuma ke noma ke uyagonyuluka ngoba ke uSergeant uMkhula akazange angitsheleke imininingwane wathi nje kuphela ke ukuthi ke kuloko akushoyo kumina umsola kukhona ke akuvumayo yiloko ke manje okwathi ke waholela ekuthini ngifike kwesinqumo sokuthi asihlangane eFosphorus.
So you knew that there was an admission, according to Sergeant Mohula, that was made by accused number one in relation to this offense, not so?
No, I knew that she said, my lord, he was making some sort of admission, not the details. So I can't say I know when I don't have the details. I was not given the details of what is it that he told Sergeant Mohula. We didn't get them, my lord.
Engakutshela uSergeant Mkhula ukuthi kwakukhona avumelana nako noma ke akuvumayo ke kodwa ke kwakungasikona ke ukuthi uSergeant Mkhula wanginikeza ke imininingwane azange ke sigxile noma ke sijuleke kuloko ayengitshela kona noma ayekusho.
Thank you, Brigadier. You then decided that you were going to interview the accused in the Red Golf because you had seen no reason why you should use your own private car rather use the state's vehicle, not so? Which is the reason why you joined him in the Red Golf.
My lord, he was already seated in that car. I saw no reason why must I move him from that car to my car when I already took a decision to ask the members to excuse us because they were closer, they moved away. But he was a suspect. I already knew that he was already arrested for the case of drug dealing. So these factors, you take them into account. You're not talking about an independent person. You're talking about a person who's already incarcerated or rather arrested for the charge of drug dealing, because that's the report I got, that they've already arrested him. Now, I can't now remove him to my car and know, what if he escaped? So I'm simply saying, my lord, you take these factors into consideration when you do this part. You don't take this part in isolation of other factors. He was already arrested, the warrant was executed, I was informed of this fact. So I had to take that into account as well.
Ngizange sibone ke izathu ke sokuthi ke ngimkhipheke ngoba wayesehlezi ke kuleyo imoto ngimkhipheke ayekulena engangihamba ngayo imoto futhi nanje bese ngishilo ke ozakwethu ngangisengibacelileke ukuthi ke abasishiyeke futhi ke lana ke sikhuluma ngomuntu ke owangangazi ke ukuthi uboshiwe ngoba ngakushelwa ke lokho eboshelwa ke noma wayeboshelwe icala eliphathelene nezidakamizwa manje umusu uthatha leso sinqumo leso ke usithatha ke uhlanganisa konke lokho ingakho ke ngathi ke noma ke nganquma ukuthi ke asesihlala kuleyo golf ebomvu.
That's my response, my lord.
Yona ke impendulo yami leyo.
You were afraid that he was going to escape, Brigadier.
It's not. It's being responsible, my lord. The members. So, I'm meeting these members with the following information: one, that they are still busy with investigation. They are with accused number one en route to foster arrest because they are busy with the investigation. At that stage, I do not know what accused number one will tell me, so I can't assume things will turn this way until I speak to him. Two, I'm aware that the warrant of arrest, insofar as the drug dealing matter, has been executed. I'm aware that, so he's arrested for that particular matter. Thirdly, my lord, he comes to me in an official vehicle, cuffed. Now, if I remove him from the police vehicle to my private vehicle, I don't think that would have been a responsible thing to do. For what purpose, my lord? Because I asked the members to excuse me, to move apart from us, and they did. I think that was a proper decision that I made, my lord. I don't see a reason why I should have asked him or remove him from this car to my private vehicle. I don't think I would have done that, my lord, even if I'm asked to do it again.
Angicabangi ukuthi kwakuyinto engangayenza noma ngingacelwa ukuthi ke angikuphindeke lokho engakwenza ngaleli langa ngoba ke sikhuluma lana ngabantu ke ukuthi ozakwethu babephenya ke lana kwakuyicala leli eliphathelene nezidakamizwa babeliphenya ngangisengitsheliwe ukuthi ke futhi nayo ke iwarrant yokuboshwa kwakhe ke mayelana naleli cala lelo yayiseyikhishiwe ke manje ke futhi ke ngimkhiphe kulena imoto ekuhanjwa ngayo ekuyimoto yabo ke yomsebenzi angicabanga ukuthi ke ngangakwenza lokho.
You're also afraid that he was going to escape, Brigadier.
Wawusaba nokuthi wayesengabaleka noma wayengephi.
It would not have been responsible for me to do that, my lord. Anything could have happened. If I had to do that, I would have had to have a justification or a reason why must I remove him from the police car to my car. There was none, my lord. Yes, he could have escaped or attempted to escape. Anything could have happened. But the important thing, there was no reason for me that I saw of removing him from the police car to my private car, my lord.
Noba yini ke yayingenzeka ke kodwa ke nje engakusho ukuthi ke sasingekho izathu noma ngangasiboni izathu sokuthi ke ngamkhipha kuleyana imoto ekuyimoto yamaphoyisa ngimlethe kweyami imoto engangihamba ngayo kwakuyimoto ke eyami engasiyona eyomsebenzi.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, did you at any stage tell say to the accused, look, I'm a colonel. And being a colonel, these are some of the things that I am by law can do. I can take a confession from a suspect. I can take admission from a suspect. I can also do a pointing out with the suspect. You know, all those things that fall within the category of a colonel, of a commissioned officer, which a non-commissioned officer can't do.
No, I didn't get to that, my lord.
Angizange ke ngifinyeleleke lokho ukuthi ngimtshele ukuthi isikhundla sami nguKennedy nazi-ke izinto engingazenza noma ke umthetho ongivumelayo ukuthi ngingazenza ke elinye ke iphoyisa elingekho ke kulesi sikhundla sami elingeke lizenze angizange ngifinyelele kulokho.
Why, Brigadier?
Because, my lord, I felt it was not necessary.
Thank you.
The necessity was to make sure that the accused understand his constitutional rights, his state of mind, it is clear, and then that he was willing to make a statement to an independent police officer. When that affirmative was made, my lord, there's no reason for me to bring this part. If I was taking the statement myself, then this part Advocate Mdisi is asking me about was going to kick in, where I was going to tell him that by the virtue of my rank, I'm also recognized as justice of the peace and explain what justice of the peace means to him, because then I was dealing with his confession. But the discussion went to him being prepared to make a statement to an independent officer, and hence the arrangement of Colonel Mboto was done, my lord.
Sasingekho ke isidingo ke sokuthi kwenzeke lokho ngoba ke ekuqala uma kuthi kwakuyimina owayezothatha ke istatement kuyena noma ke iconfession leyo ke ngangizokusho ke lokho, kodwa ke ngoba lapho kwakuyoqinisekisa ke lokho ekwashiwo noma ngakutshela ukuthi lokho akusho nokuthi futhi ke amalungelo akhe ke uyatshelwa ngawo nokuthi ke futhi ke usemqondweni ke ngokupheleleke ukuthi ke akukho nje okumphazamisa. Yingakho ke kwasemanje ke kuthathwa ke isitepe esilandelayo kusokuthi ngimhlanganise naye ke uKenneth Mboto ngoba ngangazi ukuthi kwakungasimina wayezothatha istatement kuyena.
But what I did say, my lord, sorry, when he was obviously now telling me about his involvement, I did say that what he says to me can be used against him in a court of law, because he's speaking to an officer who can then indicate at a later stage what he has told me.
Kodwa ke engakusho kuyena manje ke uma wayesesho ke noma echaza ke ukubandakanyeka kwakhe ke kwisehlakalo lesi ngasho ke kuyena ke ukuthi lokho ngitshela kona ke manje kungasetshenziswa ke enkantolo ngoba manje ukusho ke kwiphoyisa ke eli ngokusemthethweni ke elingakwazi ke ukuthi likwenze lokho lingidlulise enkantolo ukuthi yiloko akusho kumina.
Thank you, Brigadier. Brigadier, why did you have to be assured of the fact that his mind was clear?
It is a requirement when someone makes a confession, my lord.
Kwakungani ke kufanele manje uqiniseke noma unesiqiniseko sokuthi ke akukho nje okumphazamisayo ke emqondweni okunye ke lokho okulindeleke noma ke okufanele ukuthi ke kube njalo ke uma kuukuthi umuntu uyagonyuluka ukuthi ke ngokwasemqondweni ke ukuthi cha usemqondweni ngokuphelele akukho okumphazamisayo.
Thank you, Brigadier. But how would you have known, Brigadier, that he was going to make a confession and therefore his mind needed to be clear when you haven't just yet started talking to him?
No, but that's not how it unfolded, my lord. That's why I said, after I informed him that I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa, the response is there, amounted to a confession. So his response was to this extent, yes, I was involved, but I'm not the one who pulled the trigger. The person who shot him, it's Marco. So he started talking there, my lord. It just flew like that all the way in terms of his role, the people that were there, etc., etc. So there and there, my lord, he implicated himself in response to my assertion of saying I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the death of Senzo Meyiwa.
Manje ke wazikanjani ukuthi manje ke noma ke umqondo wakhe ke kufanele ukuthi nje uclear ke noma ke akukho kumphazamisa uma kwakuwukuthi ongekakhulumi naye cha emuva kokuthi sengishilo-ke kuyena-ke ukuthi ngesizathu sokuthi ngikholwe ukuthi-ke wawungibandakanyeka noma wawukhona-ke ekubulaweni kaSenzo Meyiwa, iy'mpendulo zakhe-ke la waseqala nje ukuthi-ke akhulume-ke lapho ukuthi yebo ngangikhona-ke noma ngangiyingxenye-ke kodwa cha akusimina-ke owadubula umakho owadubula nje. Ukukhuluma kwakhe-ke yilokho-ke okwangitshela-ke mina ukuthi-ke manje useyavuma noma uyagonyuluka.
Brigadier, I'm listening and listening very attentively to what you're saying. You told this court that when you started to engage with him, you explained his rights, and I can assume that you explained his rights in terms of the Constitution as you would refer them to before you started talking to him. And on the same vein, breath, you also made sure that his mind was clear. In other words, you explained his right, then you also satisfied yourself that his mind was clear. Are you able to follow?
Yes, I am, my lord, and
Thank
I do
you.
agree.
Now, the question is, having explained, I'm going to start it from there. Having explained his rights to legal representation and making sure that his mind is clear. Question is, why did you have to make sure that his mind was clear before you started to talk to him?
Because it's a requirement, my lord, that when a person, as I said, remember, I'm giving these rights, my lord, on the background that I've been informed that is making some form of admission. So I knew where I was going with the discussion. Now, having placed these rights, the Section 35 rights to him, and then establishing the responses that he's willing to speak to me freely and voluntarily, then I put the question, my lord, and the response is what I've said, implicated him in the matter.
Ukhumbuleke ukuthi ukuya kwami kuyena-ke ngiyokhulumisana naye-ke kusekamuva-ke kwalokho engakutshelwa-ke ukuthi-ke kukhona-ke akuvumayo-ke mayelana naleli cala leli-ke manje sengimtshela-ke ngamalungelo akhe-ke anawo nokuthi-ke ngiqiniseke ukuthi-ke umqondo wakhe-ke impela akukho kumphazamisayo-ke iy'mpendulo lezo-ke futhi-ke nalokhu sengisho ukuthi ngaya lapho ngazi-ke ukuthi khona lokhu engikutsheliwe-ke ukuthi kuyini-ke akuvumayo-ke kanye ney'mpendulo zakhe-ke ey'landelayo khona lapho.
So, Brigadier, even before you started talking to him, you knew that accused number one had already made certain admissions about his involvement in the death of Senzo, not so?
My lord, I knew that he made certain admissions to Sergeant Mohola. I didn't know the details of the admission, but I was told, I was aware, hence I requested that they must meet me in Foster's as they were going there, that he made some form of admissions to Sergeant Mohola about his involvement in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. That I knew prior to our meeting.
Ngaphambi kokuthi sihlangane-ke eFosloras ngangazi-ke ukuthi-ke kukhona-ke akushilo-ke noma-ke akuvumeleke mayelana-ke nembandakanyeka kwakhe-ke ekushoneni kwakhe-ke uSenzo Meyiwa, yingakho-ke ngase ngithi-ke asihlanganeni khona-ke eFosloras.
Let's not qualify the nature of these admissions, Brigadier. Whether they were in details or not, we'll get there. But for now, we knew that he made certain admissions to Sergeant Mohola about possible involvement in the death of Senzo. Not so?
I knew the statement, my lord, so what, because I don't want to be misunderstood, my lord. I didn't know the details of the confessions, in other words, sorry, the admission that he made to Sergeant Mohola, because I was not given that, except the statement that he was making some admissions about his involvement in the death of Senzo Meyiwa. That's what I knew, and not the details of what is it that he told her. That I didn't know.
Angizange ngitshelwe-ke ukuthi-ke empilweni yini lena ayisho-ke noma-ke kujulwe-ke noma nginikezwe imininingwane kodwa nje engangikwazi noma ngazitshelwa uyena-ke uSergeant Mohola ukuthi-ke kukhona-ke akuvumayo-ke mayela nokubandakanyeka kwakhe-ke ekushoneni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa kodwa angizange nginikezwe imininingwane.
That is exactly my point, Brigadier. Let us cut out these details. The bottom line is you knew that accused number, before you even started talking to him, that accused number one had already made certain admissions to Sergeant Mohula about involvement in the death of Senzo, not so?
Yes, I knew, my lord.
Yebo ngangazi-ke ukuthi yebo khona-ke akushilo kuyena noma kuvumile kuyena uSergeant Mkhula mayelana nokubandakanyeka kwakhe ekushoneni kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwe.
Thank you. Now, when you approached him, it was basically to go and to get the details of those admissions, not so?
No. So, my lord, I didn't know what he will tell me. I mean, I've seen, experience has taught me that sometimes you're told this, when you get to the deponent, he tells you something else. I didn't know. I didn't know the details of what he told Sergeant Mohula. I was not even aware that he is going to be saying whatever that he told her when I meet him. What was paramount for me, one, was to make sure that he understands his right. Secondly, to establish that he was in his clear and sober senses, and then listen to what he wanted to tell me, my lord, so that I can then take the matter forward. So I didn't go there with a preconceived idea that he's going to talk, because I didn't know what he said, and I didn't know what he will say when I get to him, my lord.
Ngangayanga lapho ke ngitshela ukuthi uzokhuluma, ngangayanga lapho ngoba ke ngangazi ukuthi yini ayishilo, futhi ke ngazi ukuthi yini azoyisho kumina ke ngoba ke ngesikhathi ngokuhamba kwesikhathi ke ngwenza ke umsebenzi lona ke kuyenzeka ke ukuthi ke utshele lokho uma usufika ke kuloyo muntu loyo yena ke angakhulumi lokho okutsheliwe kodwa ke abe esekhuluma okunye okwami kwakwenza isiqiniseko sokuthi ke ngempela kamalungelo akhe uyawezwa ukuthi ke ngokwempela ngokomqondo ke usemqondweni ke ophele futhi nokuthi ke akukho okumphazamisayo bese ukuthi emuva kwalokho ke sesiyaqala ke ukuthi ke siyakhuluma.
Brigadier, you're running around in circles. I'm noting that. But let us try to make progress. Explain his rights, and thereafter ascertained, I don't know how to put words in your mouth. What did you say about his mind being clear again?
I was of the view, my lord, that he was in his clear and sober senses.
Mina ke ukuthi ke wayesemqondweni ke ngokuphelele.
No, Brigadier. No. You said you explained his rights in terms of the Constitution, and you had to ascertain that his mind was clear, not so?
No, my lord, I think maybe, I'm not a doctor, so, but with greatest respect, I'm not saying in a bad way. When you interview a person, especially for the purpose of a confession, you need to satisfy yourself, meaning now the person that you're interviewing, that person is in his clear and sober senses. That is done by observing the person, the interaction that you're having. I'm referring to that part, that according to my observation, that's the opinion I formed, that he was in his clear and sober senses. And if I recall, I just don't remember at what stage, my lord, I may have asked him as well if he took any intoxicating drugs or anything, and he said no to me, my lord.
Lokhu ke ngikusho ke nginkulu ke inhlonipho ukuthi angisiyena ke udokotela. Uma ngikhuluma ngalokho ke ngikhuluma ngokuthi ke uyaxoxisana noma uyakhulumisana nomuntu. Manje ke usuyambuka noma uyambheka ke indlela akhuluma nawe ngayo noma ke impendulo akunikeza zona. Yilokho ke engikushoyo ngokuthi ke umuntu abe semqondweni ngokupheleleka ukuthi akukho nje okumphazamisayo. Ingakho ngambuza ke nombuzo ukuthi ke ingaba ikhona yini izidakamizwa oyisebenzisile, wangiphendula ke wathi cha. Yilokho engikushoyo engikhuluma ngalo.
Thank you, Brigadier. You know, that's another challenge here. Because that requirement that you're talking about, that the person should be in his clear and sober mind, is a requirement for a taking of a confession, not so?
Yes, it is, but remember, it is, I agree, my lord, but remember, my lord, I'm saying, you can't separate this from the fact that I was told that he seemed to be making some form of admissions, even though I didn't know the details. So I went there to check because I knew the position of Sergeant Mokola. If he was an officer, I would have obviously asked for more details. So I went there, taking into account the issues of the constitutional rights, but then when I moved to questions and assertions in terms of what he wants to do, I have to warn him in line of where we're going, because had he said, I understand, and he doesn't say, he implicates himself, then the question was going to follow up to say, you may have said certain things to Sergeant Mokola about your involvement, what, so it would have went there. So I had to warn him proper, make sure that he understands his right, but most importantly, my lord, that he fits the criteria of making such assertions, because if I was of the view that he is intoxicated, that conversation would have ended there. I couldn't take it further with someone who's under intoxication or under influence of drugs, my lord.
Yebo, lokhu kangeke ukuhlukaniseke nokuthi uma ngifuna ukuthi ngibheke isimo somqondo wakhe ke ukuhlukanise nokuthi ke uma ngiya lapho ke kukhona ke lokho esengitsheliwe uyena uSergeant Mokola, ngakho ke manje uma ngifika kuyena ke sengimxwayisa ke ngamalungelo akhe ke ngimtsheleke ngamalungelo akhe nokuqiniseka futhi ukuthi ke lo muntu lona ke akayisebenzisanga izidakamizwa. Uma ngangithola ukuthi wayisebenzisa izidakamizwa noma ke ephuzileke, leyo nkulumo leyo yayingeke iqhubeke noma iye phambili.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, Brigadier, you are saying in your own word of mouth that you're not a doctor. Now, the question that immediately followed thereafter is, how would you then have ascertained that his mind was clear and he was not insane and sober, and that he was insane and sober senses? Oh, I thought Dr. Swandi is objecting.
No, my lord, my understanding of that requirement, it does not require you to do a physical or a medical examination. The mere observation by the Justice of the Peace in terms of the person sitting in front of him is sufficient. I'm not aware that you should actually subject the deponent to a medical assessment in order to check his state of mind. That's not my understanding of that requirement.
Akusona ke ulwazi enginalo ke lolo ukuthi ke uma uqinisekisa ukuthi ke umuntu ngokwasemqondweni ke akukho nje okumphazamisayo ukuthi ke kufanele ke umhambiseke noma ke abhekwe ke udokotela noma ke emtholampilo. Engikwazi ukuthi nje uma uhlezi ukhulumisana naye ke indlela ke leyo othi kufinyelele ngayo kuleso sinqumo leso ukuthi cha lo muntu lona usesimeni ke sokuthi angaqhubeka angakhulumisana nawe, akukho okumphazamisayo ngokwasemqondweni.
Thank you, Brigadier. Now, what was the reason for you to mention earlier on that you're not a doctor or you're not a medical practitioner in the context of what you had to do then?
No, because the question, my lord, was asked as to how could I say he was in a clear and sober senses? That's how. So I was responding to that in twofold. That as much as I'm not a doctor, because I understand the question testing my knowledge or my expertise as to whether am I the person even to make such an assertion that a person in his clear or sober senses. So I was responding to that part of my understanding, my lord.
Uma bengiphendula ke ngaphambilini ngithi ke angisena ke udokotela, bengiphendula ngokwendlela engibuze ngayo ke ukuthi ke ngafinyelela kanjani ke kulokho ukuthi ke ngithole ukuthi ke wayesemqondweni ke ngokuphelele ukuthi yini. Bengiphendula ke ngaphansi kwalokho uma bengikusho ukuthi angisiyena udokotela.
Thank you, Brigadier, and you still insist that you are not a doctor.
Well, if I'm being asked, my lord, am I qualified to say medically his state of mind is clear? No, I'm not a doctor, can't say that. But if I'm being asked that's the requirement, and that's why I said insofar as I know, I don't think that requirement requires a medical support to, by the magistrate or the Justice of the Peace That's my understanding, my lord.
Engakusho ukuthi ke uma umbuzo uthi ke uyena wena udokotela ngokuthi ke fundeleke ngizosho ke ngithi cha angisiyena kodwa ke ukuthi ke yini evinjelekile ke noma ke umuntu ke umbheka noma uthola kanjani ke ukuthi ke usesimeni sokuthi ngakhulumisana ke nawe ngoba ngiyazi ukuthi yini ekufanele uyibheke uthole ukuthi cha lo muntu ngakhulumisana naye noma cha.
Thank you, Brigadier. So having had this preliminary interview with him, the explanation of the rights, according to your testimony and your observation as to his state of mind, his clearness, sobriety, and etc. What was your conclusion or your view? Yes. What was your layman's view about what you were trying to find?
No, my view was based on what he was telling me, my lord. It was factual. It was not a view. It's what he told me, and what he was telling me, in my view, amounted to a confession. And when it was clear that he's willing to make a statement to an independent officer, I then, and that is where I said the best practice rule then kicked in, because I then thought perhaps then someone independent indeed can assist. So it's basically what he told me, which I was of the view implicates him in the matter, and subsequent to that, then arrangements for Colonel Mboto to obtain a written confession was then made by me, my lord.
Kwaku iloko ayengitshela kona ke iloko ke ekwaholela ke kuthini ngifinyeleleke ekuthini ke akutholakale ke umuntu noma ke iphoyisa ke eliyimele noma ke elingahlangene nophenyo kube yilona ke elizothi liqhubekeke naye uma ke manje wayesekhuluma esho ke ukuthi ke embandakanyeka ke kusona ke isehlakalo lesi kwase ke emuva kwalokho ila engenza khona ke amalungiselelo ukuthi ke akahlangane noKenel Mboto.
Yeah, you misunderstood my question, Brigadier. My question is simply that in your quest to try and ascertain that before you started talking to him, his mind was clear. He was in sane and sober senses. You did certain things. Now, on the basis of those things, what was your conclusion about his clear mind and his sane and state of saneness and sobriety? Not talking about things that he said in the content of how the offense was committed. These are just the preliminary things.
No, okay, I understand, my lord. But it's not how it was done, my lord. I've explained the sequence of events. It's not like I had a session where I have to interrogate certain part, pack it and move to the next. The sequence of the events, they arrive, I get introduced, I introduce myself, I warn him according to his rights, I ask the members to leave. Then I warn him again according to his constitutional right, assessing the question, and in that moment, as I'm talking to him for the second time, I'm reading his posture, my lord. Is he conscious of what I'm saying to him? And fortunately, we're speaking in Zulu. So I'm a Zulu speaking person and was Zulu speaking person. So in that process of the second notice of rights, I was able to establish and read his state of mind at that stage. And at some stage, as I said, my lord, I asked him specifically if he took any intoxicating substances. The answer was negative. Now, at the end of that, of those warning, my lord, I then put it to him that I have a reason to believe that he was involved in the killing of Senzo Meyiwa. His response then amounted to what implicated him in this matter. So that's how it flowed. So we didn't deal with one package. It flowed like that, my lord, and it got in there immediately. There was no part where we stopped the right and focused in his sobriety. No, it flew exactly as I'm telling. And then subsequently, then Colonel Mboto, we moved then to Ayrton while I was getting an independent officer, and Colonel Mboto was then found, my lord.
Akusikona ke ukuthi ke sasibheke noma siqele udaba nothize bese siyema ke sidlulela udaba olandelayo ke ngishilo ukuthi ngafika ke ngase ngethulwa ke khona lapha yana ke nami ke ngazithula kuyena ke ngase ngicela ke ukuthi ke ozakwethu bethu abasishiyeke ila sengimtshela khona ngamalungelo akhe sengimtshele ngamalungelo akhe ke manje ngoba ekhuluma ke noma sikhulumisana ke ila engimbheka khona ngimbuka khona ke nokuphendula kwakhe ke futhi ke uma esephendulile ke ila egcineni khona ke sengimtshela ukuthi kunezathu sokuthi ngikholelwe ukuthi ke wayeyingxenye yesihlakalo noma ke isigameko lesi sokubulawa kwakhe uSenzo Meyiwa ilapho ke emuva kokuthi ke esephendulile ke kulokho ngathola khona ukuthi ke useyagonyuluka ke manje ngathatha isinqumo ke sokuthi abahambe baye eRatin ngathola ke uKenneth Mbotho.
So, Brigadier, your explanation says to me there was no point where you interacted with him then, where you actually formulated a view that this person was in his clear mind, was in his sane and sober senses, except for that little question that you asked him if he took drugs or alcohol or what.
No, that's not correct. It's not what I've said, my lord. I'm saying from the time I was introduced, the interaction starts. And then I introduce myself to him. This is now accused number one. The interaction starts. We're starting to talk to the person. Subsequent to that, then the warning of rights in terms of section 35 starts. Those warning, the rights that I gave, they were directed to accused number one. So there is interaction. Thereafter, I asked the members to excuse me, the members who were there. I remain with him. I continue administering his section 35 right and requesting responses from him. Write to an attorney. Do you want an attorney? The response is no. He is talking to me, my lord. So that is the sequence that I'm talking about. That in the midst of giving this right, you interact, you are able to form an opinion that the person is either okay or not okay. That's how I dealt with it, my lord.
Indlela engenza ngayo ke ngaphambilini ke kwalokho nje engikusheleleke ngaphambilini ukuthi ke ushilo uKenneth ubrigadier ukuthi ngaleso sikhathi ke sasikhulu okunye futhi ukuthi sasikhuluma isiZulu ke ngumZulu ke naye ke futhi wayikhuluma isiZulu okwenzeka ukuthi ngishilo ngaphinda futhi ke ukuthi ngafika ngethula nami ngazithula kuyena ngabacela ukuthi abashiyeke ngakhulumisana naye ngimtshela ke ngamalungelo akhe ke anawo ngokomthetho sisekelo futhi ke nanjengoba sikhuluma ke ila engithola khona ke ukuthi ke cha ngokuphela uyakuzwa ke lokhu engikushoyo kuyena uyakulandela lokho kulesigameko sesibili ke sebehambile ozakwethu la esikhuluma khona engithola khona ukuthi impela ke la ngenkulumo siyazwana.
Thank you, my lord. My attention is drawn to the registration in the chronometer. A chronometer is a watch. That it is almost a penultimate minute to 13 hours. May I, therefore, in humble submission to God Almighty, request this court for a lunch adjournment. We'll come back on that aspect. Thank you, my lord.
You want to say something, Mr. Ramasipi? Okay, lunchtime, 2 o'clock.
Yes.